Welcome. Thanks for being here. My name is Pebble, and this is how we start a stream. This is how we start a poker stream. Now it is ready. Now we are in the middle of it, okay? We are playing a game called HD Poker. My name is Pebble. So we are going to be playing poker today to start the streaming. This is how we like to start the week. It's exciting. It's an exciting week because it's we have 4 days to stream. And of course, we had the weekend off. It was a lovely, it was a lovely time. Basically, we had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday last week. Then we had the weekend off. And now we're streaming again. I took the weekend to myself. I actually streamed a little bit on Friday. But Saturday and Sunday I made myself. I made myself not stream. And look at this here. Look at what we fell into. Ace 5. Of course, this is HD Poker. This is the $200 million table, which is a bigger table than, bigger money game. I don't really know what this guy has, or I would bet more. I think I'm just going to bet more, right? I don't think this guy has me. I've got Ace 5. Yeah, I was going to say, although he had Jack 2. He had 2 pair as well, but we had a better 2 pair. And that's a good way to start the game. And this is just one of my favorite games to play, period. Like, it's a great game. I love poker. But it's also a great way to start the streaming week, where I can sort of talk about my week and how things went. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I don't have much to report. I did not do anything on my time off. People were asking me, what are you going to do on your time off? And I was like, nothing. I'm really a home guy. I'm a home, there's a name for it. I think that's what we called it, right? A homebody, a house cat, basically. Like, I like to be at home. I don't like to be going places. The only way that I would go to another place is if I could replicate if I could just have a streaming setup. If I could go, like, maybe, I could see doing this. If we could get, like, some kind of a laptop thing going, and they had a TV, we could do that thing where you go to what do you call it? Where you rent a house, Airbnb. So I would do the Airbnb thing if I could do a vacation, because then I would just set up like a little place I could just sit and stream. But I would just be in another person's house streaming. That's all I would be doing. And I've actually read articles on the Airbnb thing, and there's some people who force you to leave the house. There's some Airbnbs where they have like a rule where, especially like in other countries, because their theory is like, well, the reason that we have this Airbnb is so you can have a place to come and have a place to put your head after a long day of walking around. And I'm like, that's not what I would do. I would just get an Airbnb, probably have like a laptop or something. I would set it up. I would set up my Airbnb just so that, and I would be there the entire time. I would just, yeah. So yeah. So that's basically what I did. I just kind of stayed in. I didn't talk to anybody. Not that I really talk to a bunch of people anyway. I'm not the most social creature in the world. But usually, by the way, on the right-hand table, aces here, looking good. We're going to have to bet something, so we do. Yeah. On the right table's 850K, and we could just basically say that we both have a flush, and that's exactly what happened. So yeah, it was a great time off, but it was like so much time by myself that I'm happy. I will be happy to get back to work. I'll be happy to see people and to just be around like annoying asshole people. Because that's just what people are. People are annoying. I mean, especially with what I do, security. It takes a lot for me to have to go and work this job. It takes a lot. Honestly, I'm just gonna tell you, I'm a little different. I think I'm wired differently. I've never enjoyed. Well, this is gonna be tricky here. He bet 5 mil. I've always been an indoor guy. I've always liked being at home. Even when I was a kid, I mean, I just don't like going to places. I don't like being around people. I never did. I don't have a problem with working. I actually enjoy working. I actually enjoy putting my mind to work. Even a small job, like where you're not thinking. I know that's what frustrates a lot of people, is they don't want to go to a job they think they could do better. Oh yeah, you can definitely always do better. Jobs. My theory on work is that it is definitely a government thing. They want people to do jobs so that they don't get into other stuff. They're worried that people are gonna like get too smart. The government is worried that people are gonna figure out, you know, that they don't necessarily need to like work as hard as they work. So yeah, I think jobs are just really basically there. Like, what about this whole 40-hour work week thing, right? Does anyone really need to work that many hours? No. They pay you very low so that you keep working. They want you out of your house. They want you out there contributing. And I don't know, not everybody contributes better that way. I personally felt like I contributed worse that way. I don't think I was a help to society when I was just trying to work my little dishwashing and my cooking jobs. I don't think I helped anybody. I think I was a worse version of myself, quite frankly. I was a little stupider. I was a little like, everything was just like, I was nervous all the time. I was scared that I was going to get fired every minute. And then, of course, when people notice you're like that, then they make it even harder for you to do anything. Then they want you to ask questions every time you do something. Come to me before you put that out. Now you're a cook. Now you have to go through. No. If that makes sense to anyone, I don't know, but. So yeah, I enjoyed my time off, but we didn't really do much. And it's kind of cold outside too, so it's not like I'm gonna go like work out every day when it's cold outside. But you know, I'm just making excuses. That's pretty much what happens is, you know, if you give me a large chunk of time, I'm not gonna do shit. I might come up with a couple projects. Listen, if I was a attractive woman, or even not even that attractive, just a woman, because women can basically get anything, right? What I would do is I would pick a guy that didn't like piss me off too much, and I'd marry him, and I'd have kids, and I would just be a stay-at-home mom. That would be my job. I would take care of the kids. I would be a good mom too. I'd be a very good mom. I would be very good to the kids, and I would treat them well. I would make sure that, no predators around my kids, man. Make sure no predators. You can't control what kids meet. Kids go to school, they meet a bunch of weirdo kids, and they end up wanting to hang out with the weirdo kids. There's nothing you can do about that as a parent. But I would do my very best to make sure that at least when my kids brought their friends home from school, as a parent, I would be super duper, like, constantly letting these kids know that they were not going to get fucked with by me. If anybody fucks with you, you let me know, that kind of thing. Yeah, I would be such a protective mom, but maybe in an unhealthy way. Who knows? Like, I realize there's only so much your parents really can do. And I've said this before. My parents, I thought they did a great job of growing me up as a little tiny baby. Like, when I was like from like birth to like 5 or 6. They did a great job. Because there's really not much you have to do at that point. Like there's major things. But for the most part, mentally, you don't have to, like, engage too much. It's like having a cat, kind of. Right? You just, like, cuddle them a little bit. I think my parents did a great job with that part. Then, from the teenager and on, it was like, it might as well just been, like, tied me to a fucking tree or something. Like, I just didn't feel like I was very... I don't know if they tied... that's not a good way, because they weren't controlling. Anyway, who cares? The greatest thing was... Oh, there's the ace. Damn it. The greatest part was getting out of the house. That was scary, too. But then once I finally left my house... Oh, there's a 333. Nice. Once I got out of my house, it was hard, because I was like... It took years and years and years to find any kind of, like, stability on my own. But I will say this. Being on my own is so much better than being stuck with a group of people who don't seem to really get you or really like you. Like, I didn't really feel like my parents liked me, actually. Which is cool. If you don't like me, it's fine. It's not because I was a little obnoxious, whatever. I just feel like my parents felt like... Isn't he going to get smarter? I think they were expecting something else from me. I do. Like, my sister was like my sister became a writer later in life. Like, she was definitely more scholastically wired. And I think my parents would have preferred if I was more of a scholastic guy. But it's fine. Once you realize, like, your parents, like, don't really like you, but it's not your fault, that's really hard. It's really hard to, like, damn it, I wanted that so bad. I have to fold now. Yeah, I have to fold now. I was really close to getting the cards I wanted. I lost a lot of money there. But that's okay. Yeah, I think a lot of people feel like there's a lot of people out there who just aren't liked by your parents. And it's not necessarily, they can't hide it. Like, they don't like you. But it's not your fault. It's not, you're not the, like, sometimes it is your fault. Sometimes you're a little dickhead asshole who doesn't know how to fucking chill the fuck. You know, like, there's people that just have mental problems and stuff like that. But once I realized that it's not my fault that my parents don't like me, it made me feel better. It made me realize it's not me, it's them. I actually am a pretty great guy. I really like myself a lot. We're all in here in the $200 million tournament with ace queen, which I think is a great hand. Let's see what happens here. Is anybody else going to jump in? Probably not. Ace 10 versus ace queen. I love it. Damn it, there's the 10. There's the ace. Only a queen can save us now. That's such bullshit, dude. Ace queen versus ace 10. Ace queen all day. Ace queen all day. So we'll just go all in here with ace queen. It was hard because it was hard to admit, like, first of all, that my parents really don't like me. That was hard to admit to myself. And then once I look at this, we're about to lose this fucking really stupid. Ugh. All right. Damn it. Damn it! Now I'm just like, now all of a sudden I just sound like a weirdo. Let's see. King 3 fold. But yeah, once I realized, like, yeah, it's not my fault. And it just came to me, like, you just feel this weird feeling, like, every time I talk to my parents, even, like, later in life, they just didn't seem to really be interested in speaking to me, and, like, everybody was just kind of like, I'm busy. But I just realized, like, I just don't think that I was their cup of tea. Like, I think they wanted something else. My parents just wanted a different kind of kid in their life than me. And there's nothing I can do about that. I mean, and it took me a while to not, like, resent them for it. Like, you can't resent people for not feeling something. It's not their fault, really, you know? It's just, it is cold. But it actually was very freeing, and it actually made me realize, you know what? I should be my own parent anyway. Since my parents weren't good enough parents for me. As I became an adult, my parents taught me nothing. And I stopped really being parented probably around 16 or 17. Because I lived with my mom for a couple of years until I was 18, but she was so, like, trying to find her footing. I felt bad for her. Because here she was, like, she had just divorced my dad. It was bad. She cheated on my dad, but the fact that she took me back in for that last year or so of high school, I really appreciated, because I don't think I would have been able to live with my dad. My old man was an East Coast guy. Probably I could have lived with my dad as a person, and I probably would have enjoyed it more, to be honest, because he's a man. He could have taught me a little bit more about being a man. But living in Philadelphia was a nightmare, and I don't think I would have wanted to live there as I was getting older. Life was just, I was starting to see how hard it is to be a guy in society, and that would have, being a man in Philadelphia in the 90s probably would have been killed. Like, there was just so many, like, violent, like, rap and hip-hop, and there was a lot of violent dudes. When I joined the military, we ended up, like, seeing a lot of military guys wanted to be gangsters. So you had a lot of these dudes that were from gangs. A lot of them were black dudes, to be fair. So yeah, I don't know. I'm all over the map with the conversation today, sorry. Getting back into the streaming world. But now I feel great. Like I said, I'm a 50-year-old guy. I'm older than that. I'm like 52 or something. I don't even know. Like, what am I? I'm 52. Yeah, 52. And life is great. And I definitely was a better parent to myself than my parents were. But that's only because I don't think they had the tools to be parents to an adult. I think my parents were good parents to, like, a 2 or 3-year-old. My parents were good at, like they could basically raise puppies. But once something becomes an adult, I think they both kind of struggle. How do I deal with this? I don't know. Like, they just didn't know what, like, helping me find a career and stuff, that was just not going to happen. Like, helping me find my way through actual life was, I think most people will tell you it's hard anyway, but with zero guidance, it's even harder. All I can say is I learned a lot by, you know, being in dark, bad situations. I learned a lot from those situations. What I basically learned is how not to get into those situations. So being a security guard is really perfect because it's somebody that it's learning how to climb out of bad situations. How can I keep things like nice and tidy and good and like get rid of the like things that we don't need, unsafe things, obnoxious people, rudeness, like all this stuff. Like I'm trying to like, yeah. It's like when you talk about parenting for adults, you're talking about like actual life advice, life coaching. My parents were not designed to be life coaches. Ironically, in some way I feel like it's ironic because my father was a teacher. My mother did a lot of like coach. She was like a swim instructor. Both my parents were swim instructors, and my mother loved the instruction thing. And then she became like a massage therapist, and she even teaches a little bit of that. So both of them were good at teaching other people, but they weren't good at teaching me, and maybe I was not a great student. And I don't think I was a bad student, like I didn't want to learn. I just don't think I was necessarily a scholastic dude. Like I'm much more like curious nowadays in my older age. So I don't know. What do you do? How do you? It's tough. So I don't really blame anyone at this point. It's taken me a long time to kind of realize it's nobody's fault, man. Things just happen how they happen. It's lucky and it's a blessing that I made it this far without blowing myself up or you know, or anything. Could have used some could have been I think it could have been taught a little bit like financial stuff when I was a kid, but I think the one thing my parents kind of taught me was save money. So I remember being pretty good at saving money. And I remember at one point my father told me, I thought you were going to be a banker because you always were saving your money, blah, blah, blah. But that was about it. Like, they didn't really teach me about anything money-wise. So this guy bets 200K, which of course I'm not going to bet. So yeah, I forgive my parents. There's really nothing to forgive, to be honest. It's not even... I take it back. I don't forgive anything. They were fine the way they were. It's just... It just wasn't enough to get me through adulthood. You know, it wasn't... There was no lesson. It was just like, see ya, good luck. Beep, beep. You know, I don't know. It's like... I guess school was supposed to prepare me for adulthood. But I always felt like... I feel like life... My criticism of school is that life is too much like school. Like, I'm trying to get away from people acting like everything is high school, you know? And I think we've done a good job of that, actually. So, yeah, we spent, like, the last... what was it? What's it been? 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Not even having, like, real discussions or anything. Just kind of vegging out. It's been kind of nice. And we've got nothing here. So we're just going to check it across. He's got no, he has king. It's actually a 2 pair. Yes. So Jack 7 is how we're going to go out on our sword here. Jack 7. It's not a bad... Actually, that was a good play. That got us back to 881k. We're going to be a little... Actually, this is not a bad hand, King 9. But I'll fold. Yes. And there's the king. Look at the flop. Two kings came on the flop. God damn it. Why? Why? And of course my thing now with my parents is like, I don't like talk to them obviously. And my mother was curious during the pandemic. I got a phone call from her, or like a texting thing or whatever. And I very quickly like realized this is an unsalvageable relationship because it's not, it didn't start the way I wanted it to, but that's like I had no choice in that. And so I wanted to like restart the relationship. And I think my mom wanted me to be like, you're my mommy wammy. Like she wanted me to act like I was like a little boy. And here I am, like I'm 50 years old, dude. Like I'm not a little like kid. So I think she wanted more of this like, call me mom and all this. And I was like, I'll call you by your first name. Because I want to have an adult relationship with you now. That's what I said to her. Like, I'm an adult. Like, I'm sick of this. I could see, like, you're going to treat me like a kid now. And it's weird. Yeah, it's weird to jump from having parents to being, like, you know, friends with them. And that's tricky for a lot of people. That seems to be a tricky thing. And for me, I was like, I wasn't really interested in doing it. I was just kind of like, because she contacted me, I was sort of jammed in this situation. By the way, we have a pair of sixes. Are you going to fold? Dude, you're not going to fold. I was going to say, you've got a better hand than I do. Way better hands. There's nothing we can do here. There it is. Thank you for ending. Put me out of my misery. That actually was a deal. Oh, we're not quite done yet. Okay, we got 10-10. This would be good actually. We get a little money out of this. So there we go. We have 10-10. So we did win a little something. 69k. So we're still alive. But barely. Barely. Bear. Let's see what we can do here. This is going to put us all in with ace 3. I like it. I like ace 3. Oh, if we could get a flush going, we might have it here. That's what we need, is a flush. We need the flush, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. So that's good. I mean, that'll give us something, I think, right? If we have to win this thing, of course. We have the best hand. So let's see what happens here. He gets the majority. We get a nice side pot of 346k. That's not bad. 250k. Queen 7. It's not the best hand out there, but it certainly has potential. There's the Queen 7. That's the best hand on the table here, I think. That's the best hand. And ladies and gentlemen, we now stand from a guy who is on his way out. I mean, on his way out. We're at 1,000,003, and we are in this tournament. Just in time for the next one to start. We're in 2 850k tournaments right now, and I'm just starting to feel it. It's starting to feel good. Real good. That's the voice I use when I'm really feeling good. Oh, you know I am feeling good. You know that. You know I am. You know I'm feeling good. That's what I'm really feeling good when I'm doing putting that on my voice like that. You know I'm feeling good. 600k. Whoa, fuck. With ace 9, yeah, I'm gonna call that. I got news for you. I might have this hand. I'm just gonna go all in. I'm all in. I don't think I'm gonna win it though, but I could possibly win this hand because we still have another card, the river. And of course we lost. But man, we were in that thing for a good long time. That was a good try, Van Pebble. Really good try. And we are back in action here. This is an 800k table. But that seems right, doesn't it? Like, it's like if you're 50 years old, 50, and all of a sudden a parent that you haven't talked to in like 20 years hits you up and is like, hey, want to get back in touch, da, 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 da. But you can see like nothing's changed really. In their mind, you're still this little whatever. They're asking questions like about you that aren't really relevant to you anymore, and it's just like you have no. Some people think like you should talk to your parents. It's not right that you don't do that. But to me, it's like, look, man, my parents left me for dead. I mean, I left them. I realized that. I joined the military. But when I tell you, nobody was like trying to get in touch with me. I mean, I think my parents were relieved when I got out of high school, and they just wanted to live their lives. I don't think they wanted to keep being parents. And so that's cool. And I sort of it was hard for me to understand that, but I get it. I understand it. I don't want to be a parent, even though you had kids, but I understand, like, you're tired of it. But when I finally get to the point where I am my own man, and I'm like this whole person, and I'm fun and interesting now, you don't get that. Now you don't get that. You don't get to enjoy this now. I would be the same way with a girl. Like if a girl was just not like a great relationship because like for some reason she always wanted something else, and then she broke up with me, but then she sees that I'm streaming. Let's just pretend. And let's pretend I'm a successful streamer. You'd have to in this scenario. But let's say the girl was like, hey, what's up? I just like, I don't want to be weird, but like, I just want to say hi. Like, we used to date, you remember? And da-da-da. And I'd be like, yeah, I remember. Like, I wouldn't want anything to do with her because it would feel like she's just getting in touch with me because now she thinks I'm worth it now, right? So yeah, I don't know. Listen, I'm so happy alone and by myself. I'm not just saying it. It's absolutely true. I don't think I could be happier. I think it's sort of, in a weird way, my relationship with my parents would have been, if I was to have it, or to have one, I would have had to pick between my own self well-being, or is it more important? Am I more important? Is my well-being that I've built and created from scratch? Is that important? Or is it more important to just, like, because this is your family, you gotta stick with family, even though they're not, like, we're not compatible and it doesn't make sense to be around these people, and I don't like them and they don't like me. Like, we don't like each other. And it's weird. You might think, like, wow, what happened? There wasn't, like, infighting. It's just, like, I feel like I'm, like, a weird shape, and you're trying to take me and fit me through a circle, but I'm a square, and you're trying to fit me through the circle, and square doesn't fit through circle. I don't know, like, how my parents, I don't know why we're so different, but we really are. I don't feel any kind of compatibility with them as people. But I'm that way with a lot of people, so it could just be me. Maybe I'm just a weird guy, or I'm just, like, different. But I have to respect that. Like, yeah, there's clearly something is going on with that. And so here I am, in my house, by myself, and I love it. I'm doing better than ever. And I'm doing better than ever mentally. I just feel, like, healthy. I feel really healthy. And I realized, too, forget my parents, you know, just being around people at work every day was making me less healthy. So now I basically work around people, but I'm primarily by myself as a guard. So it's not really me. It's not really like I'm super social out there, you know. Actually, they don't want you to be social. When you're a security guard, one of the first things they kind of tell you is, like, don't talk to people. Like, talk to people, but, like, don't be social with the people that you're protecting. Or, like, the people, like, let's say I work in a parking lot, right? But there's a store that I'm also guarding. So with the people in the store, a lot of times you get the employees, it's usually younger people, and they don't understand, like how to separate. So they're like, hey man, what's up, bro? Hey guy. And it's like, I'm not your guy, I'm not your bro, I'm not your dude, I'm not, like, you can't break the rules and think that I'm not going to do anything about it. Like, it's a weird thing. $745K on the left table, $794K on the right table. HD Poker, I recommend it to anyone who likes Texas Hold'em. It's a great game. It's fun, and you get to be like you get to pick an avatar and be the avatar. My avatar is an owl. Ace 8. Ace Queen. What's this guy have? Oh, okay, he had it straight. Okay, gotcha. And the sister is it's interesting because I don't talk to my sister, so I tried, and I tried like Facebooking her and stuff, but she was still living in this world where like I'm the little brother and she's the big sister, and it just wasn't working. It was like I just realized, and then my sister actually one day. I remember I had a cat for like 10 years. I had this cat. And I called my sister like, this is after having a cat for like 6 or 7 years. And I was talking about my cat, and all of a sudden she goes, wait, you have a cat? And it was just, I realized like this person doesn't care really about me or even care to like learn about me. And I just felt like I was getting in everybody's way. So, and again, I've talked about this before. I have self-esteem issues, and I can't blame my family on that because they don't seem to have self-esteem issues. So I wonder if it's like just something I was born with. Probably it's not their fault. It's not their fault that I have these issues. So I feel like I'm actually doing people kind of a favor by just like doing myself a favor and them a favor by just kind of. And we have 2 pair. This is a great hand, actually. We have 2 great hands right now. We have 2 pair on the left table, and on the right table, just an excellent hand. Even though they're clearly on the table here as a straight. On the left. Probably not the best move I could have made. Make. And there's the 3-5, so we did good there. We're going all in with King 10 on the left table. And that'll probably, I imagine we'll lose that one. That one got away from me, kinda. But I tell you though, like I realize when I'm doing things, whether it's bringing me peace or it's making me feel worse. And ever since I've said no to a lot of relationships in my life, a lot of them, not all of them, my life has gotten better. My mental health has gotten better, and just my actual life has improved. Because I put all my focus on my life instead of what she said or he said or what they think. Or good, we're placed 4th. Look, we're getting better. But I feel the same way about like best pals or best friends. Like when I was a little kid, I thought you had to have a best friend. So I had a best friend, and he really wasn't a great friend. He was actually as a person, he was not a great guy. He used to fight his brother all the time. He treated his brother like shit. And that's ultimately what ended the relationship with me and this guy, because he was like my best friend, but he was horrible to his brother. Horrible. And so I eventually just kind of like snapped one day. This is when we were kids, and we were like still in high school, and I just snapped and I just started punching. Now, thankfully, I was a horrible fighter, and my friend was a good wrestler, so he just took a lot of the hits. I apologized to him years later. Actually, recently, like a year ago, I apologized to him. Like just on text or Facebook or whatever. I was like, hey man, I'm not trying to get back in your life, but I would feel better if you would just like take this apology for what it's worth. You don't have to forgive me, but like I snapped that day, and I didn't get into why I snapped, because really, like, I was right. You know? Like, it's never right to punch people. Anyone. But he was so mean to his little brother, and from what I understand, that hasn't changed a bit. And I don't talk to either of those dudes anymore, because I've grown up. You do become a different person, man. Every 10 years, check and see if people fit in your life, is my advice. I don't know. I mean, I don't have to give people advice, but but I feel like that's good advice. But that work advice is good for me because I'm a solo guy. I'm a guy that spends a lot of time alone. So, and I'm a big proponent of being healthy. I'm a big proponent of being sane. Like I do everything for the purposes of like, being a sane, responsible person who's relatively in control of their emotions. That's why I don't come on these streams and like go nuts and scream and throw things. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I don't do it, but like one of the bigger reasons is that we have a lot of concern about our sanity, and like it's important for me to like be in control of my emotions. And since I have been in control of my emotions, my life is great, because there's a lot of people that want you to just mix it up with them, and it's like you have to be able to see the signs. You got to be able to see those little manipulation things coming from. I can see it from a mile away, but sometimes it's hard to see it. That people are just trying to get your goat, And I'm one of those guys. People try to get my goat a lot. So why? If I see that people are constantly like that, why would I want to be around people? You know what I mean? Why would I want to be... So we're locked in a hand here. We've got sixes. Obviously, this is going to be difficult for me to bet. I'll be happy just to like check my way through this fucking hand. There you go. He's got kings. That was smart. That was smart by us. Playing smart. Van Pebble playing very intelligently. He's back on track. He is back on track. No, I'm in great shape. Like, and I'm incredibly happy that we decided, like, not to hate those people, but to move on from those people. And initially, there probably was a little hatred, and then all kinds of emotions go on. But like years and years and years later, the thing that I've learned is just if you can healthily remove yourself from groups of people, you're smarter to do that. I love it. I love the quiet, by the way. I do. I love silence. I really do. I'm enjoying it. There's the King Jack. King Jack of clubs. So we got a little bit of a... See if we can get some clubs on the board here. There's one club. It's not a great flop. He bets 100K. I mean, I'm just going to jump out of this one. There's no need for me to stay in that one. And we are going to drink something here. What do we want? I think I'm going to stay away from the caffeine for the moment, and I'm going to go for a coconut LaCroix. Oh, man. Coconut flavored sparkling water. It's not a sponsor. We don't have a sponsorship here. Someday. But until that happens, we like to let people know. Because then you think, he's drinking it on the mic. He wants people to see it. No. We got to let people know. Actually, that is how we started doing that. I purposely wanted people to know that we weren't sponsored by. I was nervous because I would drink like Coca-Cola and Red Bulls and Rockstars, and just like for some reason, in the back of my mind, it felt like I was doing something wrong. I'm being serious. And so we started joking around like, we're not sponsored by this, but I'm actually glad we do that, because it is... You never know when you're going to say or do something that somebody doesn't like, and all of a sudden, said company could be like, hey man, don't fucking be talking about how cool, or whatever, don't talk about being a vegetarian when you're drinking our product. We do have the straight here on the right-hand side. We are going to go all in. And I would imagine people will fold that. Unless you got something. And we'll just show everybody what we got there. Perfect. Beautiful. Let's see here. Coconut is probably one of my favorite flavors for beverages. Last week we were talking about how, people are not anymore really, but because I don't talk with people a lot. But when I was more social with people, and when I mean more social, I mean I would just talk to anybody. Like, I don't just talk to anybody. Like, there's people that get mad, that want to fight me sometimes because I'll ignore them. Like, hey man, because some people, like, if you're just walking down the street and some idiot comes up to like, hey man, what's that? And I go, and I just ignore that guy, and then he wants to fight. Fine, I'll fight that guy. I will fight a motherfucker if you're gonna get my, not that I'm a tough guy, but like, I will stand up for myself. Not gonna have, and people will do that. I don't know why, but people feel like they could just come up to me and be like if I'm walking past like an arena, let's say there's an arena, right? And there's a line of people, and I happen to just be kind of walking past that street, and there's a line full of people that are going into the arena. I know that sounds like a weird scenario, but it could happen. People will. How about this? Here's I got a better one, actually. That's not a very good scenario. Here's a good scenario. Let's say that I'm a security guard and I'm in a parking lot, and a lot of the people that are going to the store that is in that parking lot that I'm guarding are Seattle Seahawks fans, okay? And they're all there because they're going to go to the game later, okay? I will have people like come in to my face and let's say the team is let's say I know there's a lot going on here, but let's say they're watching a Yankee. Let's say they're watching not the Yankees, man. Come on. They're watching another team play on their phones, because if that other team wins, then we have better ranking or rating or whatever. It happens all the time with teams. And sometimes, so let's say the people are all standing in the parking lot. I'm going to get through this. And they start cheering, and then people come up to me and go, "Hey man, high five. Come on, man, high five me. Come on." I get stuff like that all the time, where people are like, they get physically angry because I won't high five them. And it's just like, it's a weird thing. So that's why I don't really hang around groups of people. It's another reason why I don't. That was a long way to go. It was a long way to go. I get it. Look, leave me alone, will you? I love coming up with an example, and then you're like, oh shit, that might not make any sense to people. So we got 4 people on the right table, 6 people on the left table. We've got King 10. We really don't have much going on there. We'll fold this hand. We're just kind of hanging in on both tables right now. 48K. No, I don't need to call to see that. I'll show you what I had. Ace 10. So he's going in with 71K. He's all in. What could he possibly have? He probably has something. I'll fold. I wanted to go in just because maybe I thought something could come up on the river. Yeah, we'll play 16K, Jack 8. King 4. Jack 8. So we got top 3, which is good. That's really good, actually. Top 3 on this table. At least we'll get most of our money back. Even though it's not real money. That's the thing I should tell people. Like, this game, HD Poker, it's a free game to play. They're not sponsoring me, but it's a free game to play. It's not real money. And I think it's a great site. I actually think this is one of the best games. Like, I can't believe how much play value I've gotten, replay value I've gotten. By the way, we have 4-2 and 5-2. We're going to fold the 5-2. We're stuck with 4-2 as our possible last hand here. Unless we get lucky. But there's the 2, but there's the 7. So now we need, I think we need a lot. There's nothing, we didn't get it. And there we go. Pebble is out of the tournament. We placed 3rd though, that's good. And I'm having fun. So I'm just going to keep playing tournaments. We're going to go with 200K one there. And back to the table here. Having a great time today. Just enjoying it. I mean, there's a different pace of this game that I'm enjoying. Different pace. It's nothing crazy. Which is, look, I'll tell you, like, I'm, you know, all the stuff I was saying earlier, it's like, I'm in the heyday of my life. Meaning, I think, in my opinion, when you get older, life gets better. So, to me, life sucked. And I can't believe I know there's, I've got to be careful what I say here, but let's just say I always felt confident about continuing to live through it. I always knew it was a blessing. But there were times where you're like, hey, if I got hit by a car right now, like, it wouldn't be the one, you know, like, I'm sorry, sounds gross, but like, and now I know better. I mean, there's people that can't walk or they don't have use of, I mean, there's people that have lived their entire life not being able to talk because they have such a weird, like, autistic thing. I don't want to say weird, but like, to me, that looks like the most painful existence. Or people that have to be like in a wheelchair and they can't move and they're kind of like paralyzed. I'm not making fun of that. That seems like the toughest life. And if those people can continue to live, then I can find a reason to live. So I always was able to hold on to life. But I tell you, sometimes that was all that was keeping me holding on. Like, life was just nasty. And then as I kept going, I found the blessing of it. I found the blessings. Was able to find the blessings of life. And then finally, to me, I think the last one was where we realized being alone is going to be the answer for us. It's going to help us keep ourselves together. It's going to help heal us. It's going to strengthen us. It's going to keep us more sane. Because people were making me crazy. Like, just the fact that everybody seemed to have a different answer, and you could never please people, especially at jobs where you would have 2 or 3 managers, and every manager would have a different, no, this is the way it's got, no, and it's like you realize no one is really right here. Everyone's kind of full of shit. Like, we're all just kind of finding the answers ourselves, and eventually we all come to the conclusion is that the only person that was really right is us. Like, the only person that could be right about you is you. By the way, I'm all in with ace queen. They have 8-3, and that's the way it should go, ladies and gentlemen. 1.42 mil. Van Pebble, looking good. We're playing a $200 million table on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, past the Duchy on the left-hand side is 850K. Pass the Duchy on the right-hand side. Pass the Duchy on the left-hand side. I don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. You don't know. No, a lot of people know that is. I can't think of their names. Menudo. When I was a little boy, one of the biggest bands of all time was a band called Menudo. It was a bunch of like Mexican or Spanish. Now that I think about it, they probably were not Mexican. It seems, this might come across as weird to say, but I feel like I love Mexican people. I do. So much, because I worked with so many when I was a cook and a cat and just throughout my life, I've worked with some of the best people. Have been the most embracing, most beautiful people have been Mexican people. But I think anyone will tell you that as far as like entertainment goes, and as far as the Latinos go, I think you're going to be hard pressed to find a lot of Mexican. I think a lot of them are not going to be from Mexico. I think you're going to find that a lot of the Latino brothers and sisters that are celebrities and famous people are more like Venezuelan, like other Latino than Mexico. But I don't know. And that's not a slam on Mexico. That's just an observation. And also, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, that's a lot of money to bet for just having a pair. I'm folding that. And I'll show what I had. We have 2 pair on the board here. This guy's betting 186. I call that. And he had it with 3 sevens. Nice. That was... Oh, he had a full house. He had a full house. Okay, got it. Yeah. But I don't know. Again, I don't know what I'm talking about. Is J-Lo... Like, here's a good example. Is J-Lo Mexican? It's a good fucking question. Listen, it's not... Is J-Lo Mexican? If not Mexican, what nationality? She is Puerto Rican. That's... I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna leave it there. It just seems like... Alright. I was gonna say, because, you know, there's probably a lot of Mexican great boxers. Mexico, when I think of Mexico, I think of soccer, football. I think of football, soccer, football. Somebody recently said they should change the name of football. Oh, it was the president. It was Donald Trump. That's right. Donald Trump said that. I think it was him. It said we should stop calling it football. We should call football something else, because American football is supposed to be like for your foot. And if you're calling football it doesn't make sense, really. It's so funny. Yeah, we're enjoying... This is going to be a nice week off for us. And of course, we're going to stream all week. And we're just having a great time. Having a lot of fun. I don't know if I agree with the football thing. I would say... You know, like, everybody calls football... The soccer, you know, the people that call soccer football are usually people from other countries. So soccer in America... It's, I don't know, it's weird. Soccer. Yeah. But I think they were willing, in our country, I think the reason they were willing to just call it soccer when everybody else was calling it football is because football is so much bigger of a sport to America than soccer. It's just not a sport we grew up on. Like, nobody really gives a fuck about it. People do seem to care now a lot more about football, but I think you'll find... And again, I'm just talking shit. I don't know. But from what I've learned about life, and this is just from people that I know that like football, none of them are American. They're all like African, like they came from Africa. A lot of African people come to this country and they become huge fans of soccer. This is a tough one. We went in with we had to pay a lot of money to come in here, and nothing on the flop. Nothing on the flop. Gonna have to fold that. So they both have Jack King, so they split the pot. There's the river that we were looking for. And there's the ace queen on the pre-flop, raised to 12 mil. And I'll take it. I'll take it. I will take it. 15 mil, I'll take it. We are all in with ace jack. And he has ace jack as well. And we're going to split that one. By the way, if it was possible, we got a straight draw here. What do we got? 5, 6. I mean, that's not, yeah. So there's 2, 2. I mean, he probably does have something here. It's not the right time to try to go all in. We gotta make some kind of a move on that right table, but we gotta just kind of do it in a smart way. I think this is a good hand for us to jump into. King Jack, there's a Jack on the left table. That was good. 25 mil. We're getting back up. We're climbing our way back. We're fighting our way back. Fighting my way back. Fighting my way back. By the way, that's from Tin Lizzy. Fighting My Way Back is the name of the song. Thank you. And that was another interesting life thing that happened to me. Well, I was always into the Beatles as a kid, and then, like, as life went on, you know, I listened to them so many times, I was just like, whatever. And then as I went on through life, I never thought that any band would be better than the Beatles. And, like, I've got a lot of bands that I think are better than the Beatles. We're all in with Ace Jack. He's all in with Ace 5. There's the 5. That's fucking ridiculous. I mean, what do you do in that situation? It's like, it's so lucky, man. So stupid. It's so dumb. But that's the game. It's a gamble. It's a gamble. So Ace 6 here. Of course, they have to bet this big, ridiculous bet. I'm going all in because I'm sick of being pushed around by people. You're not going to push me around with King 8. If you happen to win this, okay, but, like, you can't push me around with King 8. You're not going to push me around. And we had ace. Thank you. In a way, it's good they did that because it made us... They were using their money to try to scare me away, and that made me upset. And now we have ace jack here. He's betting 42 mil. That's a lot. That's a lot. And we just gained all this money. I'm going to fold that. I'll show what I had, though. But yeah, he had me beat there. Yes. That's what a lot of people will do when they have like 500 million. That's how much they had. They had 500 million. That was a big, big loss actually for them. You know, when you have that much money, you just think like, well, I only have like King 8, but you know what? That's a pretty good hand. If I over bet, this guy will just, it'd be too much for him. And I'm like, fuck that. I got ace 6. Which, you know, 6 is nothing really, but ace 2. Okay. This is very interesting. Because I didn't think anybody had anything there. So I thought that 2 could actually win, and it did. And now we're 345 milli. We can fold here. But, you know, I'm very happy nowadays. And that's why I said, like, I don't even have those fantasies of, like, you know, beating the shit out of your parents or something, you know, whatever. Like, you know, the fantasy of, like, fuck you, like, having a final word with them. Or even the fantasy where you're like, I'm sorry, I love you. Or, like, I never have any of those fantasies because I know I did everything the right way. Like, I tried. And we're doing great. We're playing very smart at that table. And that's where we're getting those little wins. And now we've got 2 tables to play on. But we've got King on the right-hand table. And this is a pretty big hand here. Somebody else might think they've got something good. This is a great hand to have here. I will bet 20 mil. I always think to myself, because this is what happens a lot of times, you'll think about somebody and then you'll see them. So I was thinking, like, what would it be? By the way, we're betting big here. 48 million is a lot of money, and we're betting it in. We're betting in it. I thought, yeah, if I see... Oh, there is the jack. I'm going all in with this guy. I don't know what they had, but I definitely had the real deal there. Ace jack, ace queen, ace jack on the left-hand side. There's ace king. He's got king 3. I've got ace queen. And that's going to get rid of that guy. And we've got 740 mil. And we're just going to keep going because I really want to win that game. Like, I really want to win it. And we'll go ahead and fold here. There's king jack on the left table. I'm all in with ace jack. Not a bluff, pal. Not a bluff. And there's the queen. He's going to bet big there. He might have an actual flush here. Which I believe he does have a flush, actually. I believe he does have a flush there. I can see it. He did not have it. Oh, wow. I'd love to see what he actually had, because it didn't like really, I didn't see it clearly enough, but if I try to do that, I'm fucking with too much shit. I could try it. He had ace jack, which means he really was bluffing. 100% bluffing. And there's 9-8. We've got a really good hand here, and I'm just going to go ahead and bet huge money. $170, but two guys going at it. Guys or girls, we don't know. We don't know. Ace Jack versus 10 Queen. The Queen so far, Queen 10. That's a two-pair deal there. That's a two-pair deal. And there he goes. And Steve 410 is back up to where he should be, or where he's been playing, which for the whole game he was really the main guy. So he's back up there again. And we can 8-3. That's interesting. It's interesting because you would think 8-3 is like the worst hand, and it is. Terrible hand. But you never know what could come up on a flop like that, where it's like, what if like 8-3 comes up, you know, or something weird. Like, it's a weird hand that actually could do something for you. But really, because it's heads up, really. That's my main reason for confidence. Because I feel like if I'm heads up with an 8 and a 3, there's way more possibility of winning than if I'm playing a full room with 8-3. Like, and there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have 3 players left on the big table here. And we're in great shape here. We're in great position to win this thing. And on the left table, we're in good shape as well. Playing great at both tables. But eat. That's all, folks. That's why I always felt like I'm not a huge stutterer, but as you can tell, I do stumfle and stumfer and sluffle and schluffle my words. And I always felt like Porky Pig when I would watch the cartoon. That was a huge flop for us. Watch this, folks. I'm all in. He's got ace 9. I've got jack 5. And there it is. I felt like that was my shot to get rid of that player, and we did. That player has been a really tough player. A really tough player. Ace 10 versus Ace 8. This could end it right here is what I'm hoping. Oh, there's the 8. That hurts, man. Wait, 9-10 king. All right. Jesus Christ. No, this is going to be... I've always known this is going to be tough, actually. This will be tough to get to win this on the right-hand table. Because it will just keep going both ways consistently. Here we go. Ace 7 versus A7. All right. We both had the same hand. But this is what makes this stream really, to me, worthwhile, because we made it to this point. He's going all in. Guys, I have to call that. With Queen Jack, he's got King 3. Obviously, he should have the best hand, but there's the Queen. And there it is, folks. That's going to do it. That's the game. That's a great way to end. I mean, that would be a great way to end the stream, except we're still playing, so we'll keep playing. But that's a huge win. 600 million. That's what we were looking for. We're looking for a big win, and we got it. And that's, like I said, that's where I normally would, like, end the stream. But you know what? We're still going. Let's have some fun here. Let's see what else we can do. That is what makes this stream totally worth it, though. Like, it would still be a good stream. But I think, like, my concern is always try to make the play the most important thing. Like, the actual game itself. Like, the stuff we talk about, I don't know, we talked about nonsense for the last hour and a half, you know? And sometimes, the point of doing that is sometimes, at the very least, at least you're unburdening yourself and getting rid of some things that maybe you need to get rid of or whatever. But in our case, I didn't feel like we unburdened anything. I felt like we did fine, actually. I also tried not to throw too much heavy shit on people. And I know for the last couple of weeks we've been a little bit heavy, but it's been good. We've just been talking about, like, panic attacks and stuff like that. Just letting people know, like, hey, I go through stuff, you know? Jack 9. Yeah, that was a nice win right there. We played that game really well. I remember, this is kind of an interesting memory when I was like, I want to say I was like in my 30s, and I was working like multiple jobs. I was working like 2 jobs, because when I was in my 30s, I was a hustler, and I don't mean I was out selling drugs. Like, I was an honest hustler. I was working every job I could, and so I think we were working at McDonald's as a janitor, because obviously I didn't want to be a cashier and stuff. So I think that was my part-time job. But when I say part-time, they had me for like 4 or 5 days. And then I was working 2 jobs at the same time. And I happened to meet these kids who were like in their 20s. And they were a couple. They were like a boy and a girl. And they were from like Kansas, or like something like Kansas or Arkansas, Ohio, Iowa, one of those like corn-fed type of places. And they were like corn-fed kids, you know. They were, but like the boy was like smart. Like, he was like athletic and smart. He was like, hey, I'm a crafty guy. And the real, like, I'm in the world here. I'm crafty. Like, you know, when you're young and you start to realize, like for me, I realized I wasn't crafty, but there are some people that realize they are. They're kind of built for the world. And this kid was kind of built for the world. Like the minute he got the job, I met him at McDonald's. Him and his girlfriend worked there. And they were like cashiers and cooks. They were getting like promoted on a regular basis. Like that kid, they were constantly promoting that kid. So those kids had nowhere to live. So I let them stay with me for like, I don't know, 4 months. I was very generous with my place because it was a big place. And I don't know, at the time I just was like generous. I was never scummy about it. I was always nice to people. Like I would never hit on the guy's girlfriend or anything like that. You know what I mean? And but the reason I bring it up is because I remember that I was working like 2 jobs. So they were working like 1 job. So they had like 2 days off. Because like I said, we worked at the same place. We both worked at McDonald's. So at one point, or not at one point, like it seems like it was like on their days off, they would have marathon poker sessions in the living room. So I don't really mind, like they were talking and stuff, but I don't know, I was able to kind of shut it out. But the thing that really I had trouble ignoring, by the way, we're on a flush draw here, and there it is, folks. There's the flush. So we want to just check this. I want people to think, oh, there we go. So I think I probably have one of the strongest flushes at the table. I would imagine I do. Maybe I don't. And I do. And there it is, folks. That nice win there. That takes us up to 2 mil. So the hardest part about having roommates was people shut the fuck up. Now I realize, like, I can't live with people. Like, I do. I have roommates. But I mean, like, I can't have, like, living in the same, like I need quiet as much as I can get it. And they would play poker. They would, by the way, we're so close to another straight here, or to us straight. Okay. We don't have anything. We got nothing. So they had poker chips. I don't know why, but they had poker chips. So they actually somehow, because this guy was so, hey, I'm part of the world, he actually knew how to shuffle chips. And all I would hear when they were off for those 2 nights is the shuffling of chips, which is what you're hearing here. The sound of like, imagine hearing that all night, people just shuffling the chips. I don't think. It's one of the things that makes me realize that I probably don't want to play poker in an actual casino, because I don't really like loud people and loud shit, and just to hear the chips shuffling would just annoy the shit out of me. We're doing good here. We've got almost 2 million here. The antes are kind of getting high here. Kind of getting high. 100Ks. It's a lot. So there's 5. 100K. 41,000. Queen, Jack 5. And there it is. The queens hold up. And now we lose another player. I didn't realize that this character had a female body as well. Hold on. It's a cat, but why does that make me laugh? I'm gonna stop laughing at that. It's funny when it's December and you look at the sky in like a early afternoon, like 1 o'clock, it looks like it's nighttime. It's like the whole day just looks like. I always thought about the Alaska. Don't they have like long? Isn't it like they have like long days or something, or like long nights or something like that? They have a thing where it's like you hardly, or they have a thing where it's like they go months without sun or something. What's the deal with Alaska and the sun? Long summer daylight, short winter days. Oh, so it's like longer. Yeah, they have some weird thing. I don't know exactly. It's like they had long. What is the deal with Alaska? Do they have longer, more sun? What's the deal? Long summer days, even 24-hour midnight sun, due to the Earth tilting toward the sun. So I think it's like they have like, I don't remember, but I remember there was a TV show, and it was one of the things that people were like always. It was a show called Northern Exposure. We just won $320K with a pair of sixes. God bless America. I mean, this is the country. That has nothing to do with America. It's a website. It's international. Anyway. So Northern Exposure was this show, and it was like basically it took place in Alaska, and I don't remember the deal. Is it like they have longer days? Something like that. I just remember two kids like that I worked with. I was like just about in my 40s, I think. I was either like in my late 30s or early 40s, and I was a dishwasher, and it was for this place called Benaroya Hall, which is like a huge opera house. It's not opera house, it's like a they do opera in there though. It's like a orchestra place. So we basically have nothing here. We got nothing here. And I worked with these two kids. This guy who owned it, the name of the company was Tuxedo and Tennis Shoes. And what it was is they were these rich guys that basically catered for like rich type events. So they would cater like weddings and these big things, like a party for the Oscars. They would like cater that, you know. They would cater like rich people shit. And so I worked in the kitchen that was in this orchestra house. And there were these two kids that were like related to the owner. And they were basically this really good-looking young kids that were like 19 or 20. They were just out of high school. They might have still been in high school, for all I knew. And it annoyed me to no end to see them just be like, walk around, like, everybody was like, don't give them too much work. They're related to the guy. And the girls would throw themselves at them. It was just like, it taught me like, I don't want to be around young kids anymore because they don't know how to act at jobs. And those were the first kids. But I remember those kids were from Alaska. And those were the first people I ever had known like that lived there, and there was something about it. It was like a weird place to live, and they hated it, but that was because they just wanted to like party and like be party dudes. Anyway, that's my story. It's not much of a story. And here we are, 1.16 million. King AA is the guy next to me, and he's making big moves, I've noticed. And we're going to try to stop him right now by going all the fuck in. We're going all in with Ace King. And let's see what this guy really thinks. Because I'm happy to just take the blinds. Well, I got invited to a table. So we're going to go. Oh, that's nice. Kid Charlemagne invited me. Thanks, Kid Charlemagne. Get around, Kid Charlemagne. Get around. Get around, Kid Charlemagne. Nobody knows what I'm doing. That's another interesting story, though. Well, the song Kid Charlemagne is a Steely Dan song. And I remember thinking how much I love Steely Dan. It was like my favorite. It was kind of one of my secrets in life. Like, I bet, you know, like, you ever walk around with a secret like, geez, not everybody knows about this band. You know, that feeling of like, of course, most people know, but like in your mind, you're like, I have a secret, you know? People don't know how good this band is. And then years later, I was working with this fucking scumbag kid in a kitchen, of course. And the thing with kids is like, a lot of kids when they come into the world, they think they're gonna steal jobs from everybody. That they're just so like, they're so fucking smart. Everything's just going so good for them in their brain. They're just so fucking connected that they're gonna steal opportunities away from. At the time, I was like 40 years old. By the way, we're looking good so far, man. This is looking good here. Thank you. We got away with it. It looks like somebody's sending me messages. Oh, really great. Thanks. King Jack, yes, we want to call that. So this kid was like, I was really nice to him, you know, because I realized with the kid, this is how I used to feel anyway. Like, they're just kids, they're young, just be nice to them, you know. Once they, the kid's whole thing was telling me how hard it was. I can't believe how hard life is. And I was like, yeah, come on, you're doing good. I was like a cheerleader. I was so nice to this kid. And then this kid tried to basically take my job from me. It's kind of complicated, but he was basically like trying to take my job away from me. And I remember he ruined the band Steely Dan, because I remember he brought it up one day, and this is when we were still cool, before I knew it was a douche. He was like talking about, do you like Steely Dan? I was like, yeah, Steely Dan. And he was like, you do? He was like, Steely Dan's the most amazing thing ever. I can't believe how good they are. And it is rare for people to like this band, because Steely Dan is not like a rap band. It's like very complicated music. So it is kind of rare. By the way, here we go. Jack 7, Queen 5. And this guy's got a Queen 5. And I feel for him. It's like, you had the best hand coming out, but unfortunately, at this point, you're just playing for third. We have King Jack. I would go all in right now if he wanted to, because I feel like I have the best hand here. He doesn't have this, though. So I'm just going to go all in with this. Well, I don't need to go all in. What do I need? 600? I'm pretty sure he doesn't have it. So yeah, the guy was like, so as soon as he was making such a big deal, and we bonded over that, like, yeah, this band's so great. And then when the guy burned me, and he tried to, like, basically, I don't remember exactly what he did, but whatever, it was bad. It was like he was like talking shit about me or something, and trying to get like my job. And we have Queen 4 versus 4-7. Let's focus in here. And we both got it. We both split that one. So he's still alive. Good play. But then right after the guy, you know, fucked me over, I remembered Steely Dan didn't hit the same. It didn't hit the same. I couldn't listen to it without thinking what a cunt bag this guy was. Which is unfortunate. And I listen to the band from time to time. It's a weird thing to think, like, how could a guy who was so, to me, non-Steely Danny come in and ruin this band for me? It was painful. It's also one of the reasons why I don't really listen to music anymore, because I feel like it doesn't connect. Like when I was a kid, I used to think like songs connected with me and connected with my soul, and now I just don't. I don't connect with any of that stuff anymore. Music, I don't know. I remember growing up, and people would try to make music seem like it's really important. And the same thing with art. Like, oh, music and arts, it's the most important thing. I think it's like the least important thing. Like it's really affected my life. Nothing has affected my life and the success of my life less than music has. Like, I'm not a musician. I don't play music. It just doesn't, there's no connection there for me. So let's see if we can pull this one out. And we in fact do pull it out. Some of it, anyway. And I'll take it. And this is, of course, I was invited to this table by Kid Charlemagne. So I might know some of these people. Maybe not. I know him. We'll try to win this one. We're going to really try to win this one. That was good, by the way. We just won that last table, so we've got a couple wins under our belt here. And we do have aces. So I'm going to bet big here. Wow. Why did he go all in? There it is. Van Pebble. 1.66 mil. Going hard. Going for the throats. He says, good hand. It's kind of hard to chat while you're playing, but it's easier to chat with one table. I like playing two tables, but it makes it difficult to see replays. Like, I do enjoy, the one thing I really like about this game is if I wanted to check on the last hand I played, I can hit this button here and it'll show me a replay of the hand. And it's really cool. It's a really cool tool. You can play it and talk over it. It's like a really neat thing for streaming. But if I'm doing two tables at once, it's such a monkey shit show to try to do that it doesn't really work. Monkey shit is so much tougher than because a shit like a human shit show. I mean, that's not good either because that's human shit. But a monkey shit show to me is like a bunch of monkeys flinging shit at people. That sounds like a much tougher show. A monkey shit show. There we go. Clip that. Put that in the thing. Let's see here. 5-3. We had the flush here, by the way. Oh, that's too bad. Queen 2. Queen 2, Queen 2. I've actually thought recently that maybe I'll start getting into the band Queen. Because it's a band that I never really paid attention to, and now that I'm older, I can sort of appreciate it a little bit more. The idea of this like operatic singer with like rock and roll guitars, it's a little advanced. And I think that music just never really hit home with me. Like, I liked a couple of their songs. Obviously, the number one Bites of Dust song is, you know, that was just like a cute little, like, ditty. But I remember thinking, like, how cool that was when I was a kid. Like, doom 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 doom. Like, good bass line. And, like, just the singing in it, you know, hey, 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 like, and all this stuff's really cool. But I never really thought of, like, that band, like I'm just going to sit and listen to all their stuff. But now I'm thinking, like, if there's any band that I'm going to get into, it's something like Queen. Because I missed out on that whole thing. I feel like they had a little bit of a resurgence, like in the 80s and 90s. Because I remember, like, the reason I know this is because I was friends with, like, my mother had friends and they were like 10 years younger than her, but they were still 10 years older than me. And I was friendly with them, and their brother was gay. So, like, there was a lot of gay people that were constantly around the house. So I would like be sort of on the ins with like gay culture. And one of the things with gay people, these gay people at that time, was they loved Freddie Mercury and they loved Queen. So they had all the albums. This is when people had records, you know, and there were CDs. But I remember, I don't know why I remember record players in that house. And yeah, they would constantly play Freddie Mercury and Queen. We have 7-7. Do I think anything's going to really happen for us here? No, probably not. So I think that would be fun to just go through all the albums and listen to them. Obviously off stream, you know. But it is interesting though. I do like some of the reaction videos. I like when people do reaction videos on YouTube, but I don't think I could actually. I don't think I'd actually want to do it though. Sitting and reacting to music. So we have aces here, but this is actually this is good but bad. Like anybody starts betting money here, I'm pretty much out because let's see if I mean it's so easy to lose this hand. All right. But when I started listening to music after the Beatles, it's interesting because number one, like I found a group that was modern day that I thought I might like better than the Beatles, and that is Blur. I always thought Blur was like sort of a step above the Beatles, maybe a little more druggy than the Beatles, but like way cooler than the Beatles, and but still Beatlesy a little bit, kind of in a way. Oasis was a complete Beatles ripoff, I always thought. And I just never really got into Oasis. And then, years later, I got back into a group called Tin Lizzy, which is a band from the 70s. And now that's like my favorite, like if you were to say like what is your absolute favorite band, I'd say it's Tin Lizzy all the way. Every album that they put out, I love. And the only reason that they stopped was because they lost their lead singer to heroin overdose, which was really sad because he was a really, really good musician. And probably most people don't even know who the fuck he is, which is bad. His name was Phil Lynott. Or is it Lynott? I don't know. Probably Lynott. He was an Irish guy. It was an Irish band. But they had Americans in the band too. It was a cool band. Best guitars I've ever heard. Yeah, if you get a chance, Tin Lizzy. It's pronounced tin, but it's spelled T-H-I-N. And if you don't know, you actually do know who these people are. Because there's a song that is on every single fucking movie that has to do with, like, friends and the boys coming back together. And the name of the song is, well, there's two of them. There's Jailbreak, which is always in movies. Tonight there's gonna be a jailbreak, right? It's always about boom, boom, ba-da, da-da-da-da-da, and it's always about jail, something about people breaking out of jail. And the other song, of course, is The Boys Are Back in Town, which is probably their most famous song. Most people know that song. They also did Whiskey in a Jar, which Metallica did a cover of, which was so bad. But I'm not a Metallica guy, so... Oh my god. My nose is so itchy. Okay. So this is kind of an interesting stream. I mean, normally when we do HD poker, it's not 2 hours long. It is, but we do like a bonus stream. So like the poker itself is like an hour. But today we decided to go just full on poker. And I'm glad we did. I needed it. Ace 2. There's my ace, but that also brings a flush on the table, possibly. All somebody needs is a heart here. That's a lot of money. That's a big bet. That's a flush bet. Oh, wow. They didn't have it. That's such a good bluff. That's a really good bluff. And actually, we can go back. So this is what I like to do. I like to kind of go back. Let's take another look at that hand real quick. We had aces, obviously. 10 king. Wait, 10 jack queen king. Oh, they had a straight. Oh, they had it. Okay. 10 jack queen king ace. Okay. They did have it. That was not a bluff. They had the straight, not the flush. Boy, I'm glad I got scared away by the flush. It's funny how my eyes were just looking at the flush, and I didn't even see that there could be a straight there. $375K. It's a good play. Queen 4. Okay, so Kid Charlemagne definitely has something there. King Jack. Oh, they sure did. Two somethings. And I'm going to try to take Heaven's Wink to the end of their money. They go all in. That causes Righteous 1-2. Folds. And now it's Ace 4 versus Jack 7. I'll take that any day of the week. It's okay. I'll take the, you know what? And I lose. It's fine. I'll take that any day of the week. I'll take Ace 4 versus Jack 7 any day of the week. I would prefer a better kicker than a 4, but still, with the Ace 4, you could have a straight in there somewhere. I'll take that any day. I don't regret it. Not a bit. Like, I prefer Ace 10. Or Ace King. So we got a pair of 7s. And now we're going to make sure, we're going to be careful here. bet 160K. And there we go. Back up to a mil. So let's see what we got here. Let's see what they've got. Ace King. Wow. Very nicely done. And now that we're the top blinds here, we've got Ace 9. We're going all in. Because I don't like people fucking with me. And if you could beat me with Jack-Jack, you could beat me with Jack-Jack. Good for you. Like I said, I feel confident with Ace. When I've Ace anything, I feel pretty fucking confident. Especially with like Ace 9, which is what we had. $125K. And there's our flop. We have 7s on the flop. She's actually a really good flop for us. And we're just going to keep checking it. And I think we might win this one. Yeah. That was a really good win. Pair of 7s, 750K. That's a huge victory. And we will, of course. I actually like Jack 8, but I'm going to fold here. I mean, we could have won this hand as well. That's a big pot, 750K. Oh, and Mooner buys the pot, basically. Excuse me, I always find it interesting when people... Oh, there... People have, like, name themselves something, and then the rest of the time they play, they, like, character is based on, like, what their name is. I always find that kind of interesting. All in. All in. Huge pot. 1.37 mil. And Heaven's Wink wasn't all in, but damn near close to it. And they have 79K left. Kid Charlemagne calls. I check. And nothing on the turn. And I don't think this is going to be a hand for us anyway. We're going to fold right here. So Kid Charlemagne, 900,000. That's got to help. That's only going to help them. I'm going to fold. $376K. Mooner's got Jack 7, and that's going to be 6s. We're going to lose a player here. Heaven's Wink. And Mooner now has 1.45 million. And ladies and gentlemen, we have 4 players left on the table. Oh, Mooner. Mooner, why? Ooh, Righteousness. Or Righteous One. Righteous One has aces against queens. This is always kind of interesting to see what happens here. 2 great hands. Of course, I'd rather have aces. And there you go. We lose Mooner, and now we're down to 3 players. And this is good. This is a good look for us because let's try to go all in. Let's see if everybody wants to play along. I'm giving everybody a chance here. Queen, Queen versus Ace 5. I've said it a million times. Aces are good. But, they're not going to hold up. And now Van Pebble goes head-to-head against Kid Charlemagne, who was the person who invited us to this table, so I'm really glad it's them. I'm glad that we get to go against them. And let's see how this guy goes. And there we go. 6s are better than 5s. As we know, there's that other 6, and it looks like we got it. We end this stream on the 3rd win of the day. We won 2 800K and 1 200 million, and I gotta say that's a good way to go out. I'd like to thank Kid Charlemagne. Thank you, Kid Charlemagne, for the invitation. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the stream. That is the stream. I feel good about it. We got some games. We got some streams and games we're going to be doing today. It's going to be a great day. I played some great games last week. And we're going to continue playing those games this week as well. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the portion of the stream where I get to end it by advertising the channel. I'd like to advertise this Twitch channel. Please follow it. Please, please. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw here. My name is Van Pebble on most social media. We are on Twitter. Van Pebble's on Twitter. We talk about sports, movies, mostly fun stuff. It's not going to be us talking about the Russian Cold War or whatever happens to be happening today. It's us talking about fun stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, Van Pebble is also on YouTube. We take the games from Twitch and we put them on YouTube. And listen, there are times when it just takes a while for people to see the games on there. But I'm telling you, this Van Pebble Plays Need for Speed Hot Pursuit is a great stream. Please watch that. But ladies and gentlemen, we are on YouTube. We have 43 subscribers. Let's get more subscribers. Look, we almost have 500 videos. This video actually will make it 500. So that's a lot of stuff. If I'm continuously putting stuff out and I'm doing what I think is good quality, which I do think, then I mean, it's this channel is waiting for you. Watch a few videos if you like it. You know, hit the like button, and if you find yourself going, I wonder what this guy's going to do next week, you might as well subscribe, because it sounds like you're a fan, and there's nothing wrong with that. And ladies and gentlemen, there's 2 ways you can support me financially. I already make my money. I'm a security guard on the weekends. But if you got that extra money, I'll tell you the truth. My fantasy is to be a full-time streamer. The only way I would be able to pull that off is if people were giving me money. Otherwise, I couldn't do it. So, if you're one of those people that were like, I want to see this guy stream only, that's all I want to see, well then donate money and maybe that wish will come true. You can donate money 2 ways to me. You can use the Prime sub. You get a free Prime sub from Amazon. You can give it to me. Or you can donate money on PayPal by donating money to @ThomasPaulvino. Small capital letters. No capital, actually. Small letters. No spaces. @ThomasPaulvino. And that's the end of the stream. Thank you, folks. I had fun with it, and we got more coming your way today. I expect that you'll see some more sport stuff from me. A little bit more like sporting games, kind of. Hockey. There's a game called Tape to Tape. That's a game that we're going to be streaming today. And I think we might be streaming a game called Ball X Pit. I've fallen in love with the game, and I took a couple weeks off from it, but I'm ready to play it. And we're doing quite well in that game, actually. Ball X Pit, we're in the last level, and we've actually beat the last level with a couple players. So I think we need to beat it with like maybe. I heard it's like 7 or 8 characters. So we beat it with 2 characters so far. So we need to just keep playing that game. So that'll be fun. Ball X Pit. And there's so many games, man. Need for Speed was a great game. I could see us playing that again too. So, and Fortnite is one of those games that I like to play Fortnite every day. So I would expect to see a Fortnite stream. So we got to figure out exactly. Excuse me, I can't stop burping. Yes, thank you for watching. That's it for Van Pebble for this stream. My nose is so itchy. And I had a great time. I hope you did too. Talk to you later. Peace.